This is the only thing we need to be doing, right? However, we have a job as black men. That job we lost because we broke God's commandments. That's what he was about to dig into. The curses came upon us as a race. Now we the crackheads in the streets. Now we in the methadone clinics. Now it's scratching and itching because we lost our nationality. We lost our way. We lost who we are. Now we coming back. And it's our job to fish you back into the Lord. Because you ain't normal around here. You ain't just a black man. You are the king of the earth. The crown just fell off our head, that's all. But now the Lord is putting everything back in its normal state.
That's right.
Now read that one more time for him. Deuteronomy 28 and 15.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Now in the book of Deuteronomy, who is speaking? The prophet Moses. Guess what? He was another black man, Haitian, so-called, right? This is Moses speaking to us as a people, as a race. He says, if you will not what?
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken.
When you says not hearken, what does that mean? Another term for hearken means listen. If you will not listen, read on.
Unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day.
To observe to do all his commandments and statutes this day, read on, what will happen?
That all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
He said curses gonna come upon us as a people. Let's read the first one, come on.
Cursed shalt thou be in the city.
God says so-called blacks and Hispanics gonna be cursed in the city. You know one of the biggest curses? Get Exodus 20 verse 13. This is one of the biggest curses to prove that who are we? These people Moses speaking to. He said these curses gonna come upon y'all. And one of the first ones, you're gonna be cursed in the city. And this is one of the curses. Read.
Exodus chapter 20 verse 13. Thou shalt not kill.
Read that again.
Thou shalt not kill.
Who make up the gangs in Little Rock? Black men, Hispanic men. And what do? They kill each other. As a matter of fact, get Jeremiah chapter 9 verse 21. God says, thou shalt not kill. But why do our brothers kill one another? Because Moses told us, if you didn't keep these commandments, curse is going to be on you. You're going to be killing each other. Watch this, read.
Jeremiah chapter 9 and verse 21. For death is come up into our window.
Read that again.
For death is come up into our window.
When it says death is come up into our windows, that means there's somebody right now. I guarantee somebody in your family had died by a gun before. That's what God is saying. Death is coming into our windows. The people we know, we had a personal relationship with, they got killed by gun violence. Death is coming into our windows. Read on.
And is entered into our palaces.
It's entered into our houses. That's what it's going into. Read on.
To cut off the children from without.
To cut off the children without, meaning the children that's in the streets. That's why death comes into our windows, because we're not applying God's commandments. Right. We are cursed in the city. Now, this morning, can you read?
And the young men from the streets.
And the who?
And the young men from the streets.
And what you think these young men doing, bro? What you think they doing?
Right.
Give me some examples. What are the young men doing today in 2024?
You know what they're doing, bro.
I want to know if you know.
You know exactly what you see. Look around.
Look around, right? But here's the thing. That's happening. How do we know that God is working with us? How do you know that this Bible is real? Because it says it also in the Bible. Get that in Isaiah 51 and 20. Because we think this Bible is just a novel. We think this Bible is just something we're supposed to read when we want to feel good before we go to sleep. This Bible is our life, brother. And the reason why we dead, because we left the life. Right. We left the word of God. Right. Read.
Isaiah chapter 51 and verse 20. Thy sons have fainted.
Our sons have fainted. It ain't talking about because it's hot. It's talking about fainted spiritually from who we are. We fainted as being the greatest people upon earth. We fainted as being God's people. We fainted from being Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Now we black American. Now we colored. Now we Negro. These are the things God is talking about concerning us. Read on.
They lie at the head of all the streets.
What do?
They lie at the head of all the streets.
The young man is at the head of the streets doing what? Selling drugs. Robbing one another. Where we reading this from? The Holy Bible. letting you know this book is for us, written to us, written by us. Because only black people know black people pain. You understand? That's how you know black people wrote this book. Because we know each other pain. The white man couldn't write this. White man couldn't sit down and understand the pain of black people unless it was black men that wrote it. You understand? Keep reading.
I say wild bull in the net.
God says the young men is like wild bulls out here. You ever seen a wild bull on the video? They doing the matador stuff. When they let him out, what he do? He rushing anything in the work. Anything moving, he coming for it. God says the young man just like that. You look at a young man wrong, he about to up the switch on you. Just cause why? We emotional. Men have been destroyed and emasculated so much that we can't even speak like men no more. The brother get offended, I'm gonna shoot you, nigga. We think that's tough. That's emotions. God says we weren't supposed to roll like that. But through the curses, here we are. Read on.
They are full of the fury of the Lord, the rebuke of thy God.
Now the rebuke of God is what we were just reading, the book of Deuteronomy. So it says, curse shall be in the city. Now, when these murders take place, are people indicted? When these murders take place and they catch the person who killed them, what happens to them? Where they go? I'm dialoguing with you, my brother. Where they go? Huh? They go to prison, right? No, they won't. Read what you got.
Isaiah chapter 42, verse 22.
What I'm doing is letting you know the Bible is real. And the reason why I'm saying this, we don't know that we are these people in it unless we can identify it.
Right.
They don't know that they're like.
You understand? So I'm going to ask you this before we read this verse. Who are you according to this sign? Did you ever read it? Can you take a look from me? Come on over here and talk with me, bro. Because, hey, it's nothing but love out here. I see you got a wise temple. You sitting there, you're humble. That's how I know the Spirit was with you, right? So in order to know who you are, you got to know which tribe you come from. You got to know that these scriptures we're reading bears witness with our spirit. So now, if your father, right? Whoever your father is, that's who you are. Your father was a so-called African American. You'll be from the tribe of Judah. Now I ask you a question. Who is your father? What was his ethnic background? I was just asking the question. We gonna show you in the Bible. Okay. The reason why I'm saying this is because it can be traced. How do we trace it? Give me Deuteronomy 32. This is very easy. How can we trace? You said it can't be. Guess what? The white man's powerful, but he ain't that powerful. He's not for what they did to us, right? You think what he done to us could never be reversed, right? Guess what? We for the reading through the scriptures that it's the total opposite. Watch this. No, we got you. I know how you feel. I know how you feel. You feel like this is it. It's over. We defeated. Guess what? It's a new breed of black men. And we're waking up as the Israelites. We are turning this world up, right side up. And the white man know it. Watch this, read. I want the 28 and 32. He said, how can we trace this? How can we know we're these people? Watch this. Matter of fact, I want Genesis 49. Give me Genesis 49. Start at verse 7. We're going to read about Judah. This is how we're going to know.
I'm not saying how can we trace this.
How can you trace what?
How can you trace my father?
Okay. I'm talking about your father alone, not your great-grands, and we understand that. Our genealogies have been destroyed according to the records. However, these records haven't. That's the point. That's why I said if your father's so-called black man, according to these records, he is from the tribe of Judah, making you from the same exact tribe. And, okay, so that means get Deuteronomy 1 and 1, then get Deuteronomy 28 and 32. All praises. So that means that you are the people of the book. That's all that matters. Everything else, the Lord's going to reveal it in time. But right now, we got to hold fast to what we have. And these are these words right here. Read that.
Deuteronomy chapter 1 and verse 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
So Moses was speaking to all the 12 tribes of Israel, including you. Watch this, Deuteronomy 28. So we read in the curses. Things gonna come upon you. Read verse 16, the bottom of verse 16 and then 32. So these things gonna come upon us to identify who we are today. Watch this, read.
Deuteronomy 28:16. And cursed shalt thou be in the field.
Like we read earlier, it says, cursed shall you be in the city. Now it's talking about the field. How was we cursed in the field? We was in slavery. You understand? We was picking cotton. As a matter of fact, I think we got some signs. Yeah, we still are. You are 100% correct. Look at this sign right here. Right at the bottom. You see that right there? Read that verse again.
And cursed shalt thou be in the field.
Hey, I am with you 100%. We are still captive today. But here's the thing. God is waking us up.
Right?
This is just to show you that I'm with you. I'm telling you who you are. Now you got to come back.
Right.
You see that? Watch this. Read verse 32 now.
Verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
So when we was cursed in the field, was not our sons and daughters given to another race of people? You better believe it. But where we reading it from? The Bible. Man, I'm sitting in a Christian church because I was with the Baptists. I was pulled in that stuff by my mother. Raised up in it. And I didn't know no better. So when I heard John 3:16, I thought God says he loves everybody. But when I keep reading, I'm like, hold on. Slavery in the book? This can't be possible. I thought God is for everybody. This is all everybody's Bible. No, it's not. God said the curse is coming upon his people, which are the Israelites, me and you. Keep reading, come on.
And thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long.
Our eyes will fail to look for the help that we could never get. Jump over to verse 46. Read on.
Verse 46.
Verse 36.
Verse 36. Verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment.
So when we went through slavery, 400 years of oppression, you know what they took? They took our name. They took the language we spoke. They took even the way we ate. They broke that up. So now, years later, we have become an astonishment. You know what an astonishment is? Black people still eat pork in the year 2024. Knowing that it kills you, loving it. That's an astonishment, my brother.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity.